What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. Today we're going to be flying the PMDG 737 from LAX, Los Angeles, to Phoenix, KPHX. We are going to be flying a real flight. It's going to be Southwest 339. We are flying on Vatsim. I did jump inside the plane and do our pre-flight checklist and just get, like, you know, all the systems up and everything. That way we could jump right in and do our clearance. So that's what we're going to do. We could jump in the plane. 1335. Yep. All right, so all I need to do is go ahead and turn on ATC so you guys can hear it. They are there, and we'll jump in, and I guess we're gonna
Romeo, November, Oscar. Where are you going?
call
Signature
into
Atlantic?
center.
Signature, please. That's on Hotel Romeo, November, Oscar.
All right, make a left on hotel and taxi south on hotel to Signature.
Left
right.
hotel, south to Signature.
We'll cut in here as soon as we get a chance.
Stop Hotel Romeo, November, Oscar.
All right, Quebec is.
LA Center, Southwest 339, looking for IFR clearance to Phoenix.
That's 339, pre-departure clearance sent.
Receive Southwest 339. All right, so they sent that to us in a PDC message, so we now have that on our V-Pilot here. So Flight Sim, KLAX, KPHX, that's two scenery, climb via SID, except maintain 5,000, so I gotta change that. I had 17,000. That's what the chart said, so we'll change that to 5,000 on my little pad here. Flight level 330, 5 minutes after departure, departure frequency 135.550, which is what we expected. Contact ground control when ready for taxi. Okay, so we could do everything we need to do up to taxi. I will leave the radios on so that you guys can kind of hear in the background, and I'll try and talk my way through the flight plan and everything, but you know, if you guys want to just listen in, I can also be quiet so you guys can just listen. But before I do that, here is our route today. I don't know why this is popping up again.
275 Los Angeles Center, squawk 7324.
All right, we'll move that over. We'll go ahead and click back over here, and we can start putting in this flight plan. I haven't done anything, so we'll jump down here and we'll start putting in our information.
Sierra, you ready to go? Hey, firm. 213 Sierra, wind 30010, runway 28 right, clear for takeoff. Clear for takeoff, TBM 13 Sierra.
Do our zero fuel weight. We'll head over to our fuel. Take a look at our block fuel today.
Charlie Sierra, radar contact 8 miles west of the Palmdale VOR. Palmdale altimeter 3020. Line maintain 1010,000. Clear to Avalon as filed. Maintain 1010,000.
Altimeter 3020, climb maintain 1010,000. Clear to Avalon, Alpha November 30 Charlie Sierra.
Pretty easy flight plan today. We only have like 3 waypoints. Let's clear out this. C-N-E-R-Y. Oh, I didn't. Oh, what am I doing here?
Tango, Van Nuys.
KLAX.
Altimeter 3006. See on the eastern side.
KPHX.
Let's see. Are you Bonanza?
I am a Bonanza, but I'm on 525.
All right, you're on the east or west side of the field.
I'm on the west side of the field.
All right, expect 3-4 left for departure. The Van Nuys altimeter 3006.
All right, to scenery and to BLH. We have 2 waypoints. BLH. Got that in there. This one. Activate. Execute. We'll head over to departure and arrival.
168, welcome to Los Angeles. Cross 24 left, eastbound Echo to Terminal 2.
Cross 24 left, east on, you say that again, for Delta 168.
Eastbound Echo to Terminal 2.
East on Echo to Terminal 2, Delta 168.
Switch at 2030, climb maintain level 260, proceed on course.
260, and proceed on course 2030.
Center closing, 2 minutes.
Oh, it looks like center's getting offline here in just a minute.
Send Angel 4 arrival.
Descend Angel 4, American 240. LA Center Southwest, 57.
Cost index today is 20. Sorry guys, I'm being quiet. That way you guys can kind of listen to the ATC here.
Okay, we'll expect
On that Yankee, runway 8 approach, Central 6, thank you.
Yeah, it's easier to get you from the arrival to the approach from that one.
LA Center, Air Canada 222, requesting IFR clearance to Las Vegas with information
All right, takeoff configuration 1. We'll go to takeoff. We're going to do a flaps 5 departure. It'll give us our trim, which is going to be 6.65. V1, V2, or VRV2.
222, pre-departure clearance on the way.
6.65. Well, this scenery lags me out a lot. So, unfortunately, it is a little bit laggy for me today. So, we'll move this up halfway through these next 2 notches here. Right about there. That's going to be our...
Avianca 624 information, Foxtrot ready to taxi. Spot 11.
Over the legs, we'll take a look at our flight plan, make sure everything's right. Alright, we'll step our way through this.
2624, runway 1 right at Bravo, taxi west on Bravo.
Everything looks good to me.
1 right at Bravo, we'll taxi
We're going to move
west
this
of
back to
Bravo.
map mode. I tried to get ATC, but ATC was not actually online today. We can flick back over and see if it works, but it wasn't working for me a minute ago. Yeah, it doesn't sound like ATC is actually online, so I'm gonna have to grab that from my webpage over here on the other screen. And we're
3720 right, taxi via Alpha Lima, cross 20 left.
KLAX. We're looking at 3008 on our altimeter.
Continental 2 Heavy, welcome to Los Angeles. Where are you parking?
Good question.
3008? He's not sure, he doesn't know.
Area. I don't care.
All right, Continental 2 Heavy, cross 25 right, taxi east on Bravo to your gate.
25 right, Bravo to the gate. Take advantage, Continental 2. Thanks.
See ya.
All right, so we'll get everything else put into the plane here. We don't have to do our altitude because we're pretty much... I mean, I think we're at sea level. I'll double check that on the chart here in a second. But we'll put this up. Let's take a look at that on the chart. I hate that every time I move this over. Oh no, it's working now. My start bar was popping up. All right, so charts. This is new. This is all new for me here. This Navi graph is a little bit different than it used to be. So we want LAX. We want to open up charts, and we want taxi charts, which will give us our airport info chart, which will be everything about this airport. So we're looking at 128 elevation, so we can move that up to 100. We can do that now. Let's go ahead here. We'll move this one to 100. Let's take a look at our departure runway right here. 24 left, so we're going to be a heading of 251. We'll go ahead and change that to 251.
48 Hotel, cleared out
There we
the
are.
Las Vegas class Bravo airspace northbound. Squawk code will be 7174. Information.
Oh yeah, what was my squawk
Current
code?
advisory taxi.
Block 7174 and City Call was ready to go for 88 Hotel.
I don't see a squawk on this. Yeah, I don't see a squawk on this. So they didn't actually
Give me a 13
give me a squawk.
Sierra. Flight maintain level 210, proceed on course. Up to flight level 210, TVM 13 Sierra.
I'm about to mess with him and say, squawk.
In LA Center 525 with
Do I need... Why is this all caps? Come on, what are you doing? Do I need a squawk? I'm not missing it, right? I don't see it on this screen.
95 Whiskey Tango, runway 34 left, XB Alpha.
I think I need to put a squawk in. So we'll wait for him to respond to that. Then we'll do our before start checks. FSC's program, we're going to do flight directors can come on.
We'll taxi down via Alpha and call
Auto throttle switches off. Speed, heading, and altitude is set. Autopilot disengage bar is up. Thrust levers are idle. Stabilizer trim is set.
One right at Bravo, ready to go.
Auto brakes can go to RTO. APU.
514 to Clone, cleared RNAV, Zulu runway 27 approach.
We can get our APU going. Transponder, we can set that in a second. I'm waiting for him to message me back. Tell me if I need a squawk or not. Which I do need a squawk, but I don't know because he said he was getting offline, I think, in 5 minutes. So I don't think that I'm going to need it if he's not online. If another controller hops on, then they would then assign it to me. 1338. It still looks like ATIS isn't on, but online it's saying that it is on. Yep, I don't get anything on that frequency, so. No message batch for squawk so far. I guess what I could do is we'll just set this to standby and we'll run a test on it. And no message back from him. That's okay. APU should be up. Let's go overhead here. APU is about to pop on. We'll go on our APU generators. There we go. We'll go on APU gens. 2. APU bleed switch can come on. And transponder set. We are good. So fuel pump switches can come on. I don't believe we're using our center tank today. I'll double check that in a second. APU generator switches on. Seatbelt signs are on. Flight deck doors, windows are locked. Ground equipment, anti-collision lights. Ground equipment can get disconnected here. Services. We'll go ahead and remove our ground services. Head back to the legs page. And we'll jump back out here. Fuel tank. Not using our center tank. Don't have to worry about that today. We are ready for our push and start. So let me look at the taxi chart here. We're going to 24 left, which is right here. So we're going to back out and take Kilo probably to Echo and then Echo right down to Victor and probably get on at Victor there. That should be the plan. Let me move this back over. I think we're good. I don't think there's anything I'm forgetting. I hope there's nothing I'm forgetting. Sometimes there's things that I'm forgetting. I don't think there is today. All right, we'll switch this over to the right. We'll go ahead and call for our pushback. There he is. Again, sorry about the frame rate. It is a little cruddy. Not much I could do about that. This scenery is extremely heavy on my GPU or CPU or whichever one it draws off of. But we'll go ahead and get this engine going. Right engine first. We're looking for 22 on the N2. There we go. We'll go ahead and introduce our fuel. Get that going. Should be pushing back here in just a second. Go insert. See, you see how long it takes to render that that scenery? The scenery is very, very heavy on my computer. But it is a very good scenery nevertheless. Alright, we'll let that engine come up and then we will get our second engine going. It sounds like they may have gotten offline because I don't hear anything anymore. Let's go switch this back.
My mistake, sorry about that.
There we go. They are still online. I was just still on the ATIS frequency. All right, we'll get our second engine going.
Holding in the hover, and Airbus 320 is off, parting on the parallel. Actually, one left, line up and wait. Caution, jet blast, Airbus 320. That's 1367, contact SoCal approach 124.5.
All right, second engine is coming up. We'll stop this pushback here in a minute.
That's 2417, Lima Airspace North, radar service terminated, frequency change approved. Open center offline, switch to advisory 122.8.
Yeah, we're gonna have to jump over to 1228. All right, we'll go ahead and stop our pushback here. Go ahead and engage our brake. Come on, there you go. All right, let's see what else we need. We got our engines going. Let's go overhead here. Wait for that to click off. We'll get our yaw damper turned on while we wait. And after start engine checks, we'll go on engine gen 1, engine gen 2. And we'll push that down, not up.
With me, descend via the ancient floor arrival.
APU bleed switch can come off. APU can come off as well. Probe heat switches 1 and 2 can come on. Engine wing anti-ice we don't need. Packs left and right can be set to auto. Isolation valve can be set to auto. Squawk transponder mode should go to C, but we are not squawking at this time because he never sent me a squawk code.
Roger that. That's been 5. We don't have to let you know that we are
All right,
landing.
we are ready for
don't have to,
taxi,
that's only in
so
Europe.
we are going to go
Roger that.
taxi light, runway turn off lights on.
I'll make a 624 radar contact altitude.
We'll get our flaps set.
4,000.
Got 624 altitude checks. Climb and maintain.
We can
level
taxi
190.
up to the end of the terminals, and then we'll have to call in before we actually get on one of the
488
active
Hotel, thank you
taxiways.
for holding there. Wind is 02015, runway 1 left.
Give ourselves some throttle, release the brake. We'll go hard left, get ourselves moving over here to the left.
Air Canada 222, ready for
Air Canada 222, new departure frequency 124.5. Give SoCal call 124.5 for taxi.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and taxi up to.
Additional aircraft on the ground at LA. New departure frequency 124.5. Give SoCal call 124.5.
124.5. I guess we have to move over to. So.
Jet 2030. Center's going to be closing. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved. Switch to advisory 122.8.
1, 2,
advisory, Jet 2030. Have a good one.
4.5. I hope I'm not crashing right now. Oh, I am. All right. Please.
LA Center, Alaska 498 with you. Follow 250.
That's 498 to Los Angeles.
I think we're doing
Center,
Sacramento
Squawk
approach.
7237.
7237, Alaska 498.
All right, we're gonna stop right here and we'll make that contact. So somebody did come online who's gonna handle our departure and everything, which is
488 Hotel, radar contact.
124.5. We'll go ahead and move over to that channel. I don't know who this Sacramento approach, I guess, is who it is.
Canada 222 heavy, SoCal approach, verify mode travel, please.
SoCal. Is that what it was, SoCal?
Air Canada 222 block control. Air Canada 222 heavy, thank you. Looks like that reset your transponder for some reason. Just put that squawk in for me, 7141, please.
SoCal approach Southwest 339. We're ready for taxi on Kilo at Kilo 3. We also weren't assigned a squawk. If I could get a squawk code, please.
Southwest 339, SoCal approach, squawk 7323.
Squawk 7323.
SoCal approach, Papa Mike Bravo 2, request clearance delivery.
7323.
Papa Mike Bravo 2, SoCal approach, clearance on request, standby. Southwest 339, thank you, runway 24 left, taxi via Kilo Echo. LA altimeter 3008.
2 for left, Kilo Echo, Southwest 339. All right. Kilo Echo. That's kind of what I thought they were going to give us. So we can go ahead and start our taxi.
41.
We can actually pull out onto these active taxiways.
November 525 Whiskey Tango ident. Air Canada 222, squawk 7414. November 525 Whiskey Tango, ready contact indicating 4,800. Cleared through the LA class Bravo via the coastal route. Maintain the VFR at 5,500. The LA altimeter is 3008.
All right. Go make it right here on Echo, and we'll take that down to our runway. So center got off. So once we get in the air, radar services will be terminated at that point. But we will have ATC during taxi and clearance to depart. And once we're off the runway, we will have some ATC, but not much after that. All right, so this is Kilo or Echo. Sorry, we're gonna follow this all the way down to our runway, and we're gonna get on at Victor, which isn't too far. I was hoping it wasn't too laggy when I jumped in this view, but I always get a lot of lag at this airport. But we'll go ahead and speed up our taxi. We can probably double our speed here and get down there a little bit quicker. Hey, if you guys are enjoying this, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and if you want me to do more flights on Vatsim with live ATC, let me know. I'd be happy to do so. I'm still new to it, so you know I'm gonna make mistakes on it, and you know it is what it is, but we're gonna learn together, right?
Hey, Charlie Sierra, Roger. IFR cancellation received. Resume on navigation. Maintain VFR at appropriate altitudes. You can walk VFR and frequency change to advisories approved. Have a good flight.
Roger, that was Frog VFR over to Unicom, and I'll see you later, HRSS. Yep.
Once we get down here, he's probably gonna clear us to just line up, and might even clear us like, you know, cleared for departure, because there's nobody else here.
22 Heavy, thank you very much. Runway 25 right, taxi via Bravo, LA altimeter 3008.
Now this should be Victor. This should be where we want to get on, or at least hold short.
Alaska 514, contact Lippert Tower 118.3, have a good one.
All right, we could do our
329, RNAV Delray, wind 26012, runway 24 left, clear for takeoff.
24 left, clear to take off, Southwest 339. All right, they cleared us. We can go ahead and jump on the runway here. We don't even have to stop, but we do have to do our before takeoff checks, which is auto throttle can get armed, engine start switches can go to continuous. Landing lights can come on, and strobes can be set to on.
Heavy SoCal approach, push on a kilo, cruise face north.
And we're good to go. I'll step back to idle.
1367 looks like you're deviating off the approach there. The field's currently at your 10 to 11 o'clock, 11 miles you've got in sight.
All right, we are ready for departure. We're going to go ahead and hit our toga. We'll keep our nose down, stay centered on the line. We'll get ourselves off the ground here.
Southwest 1367, no worries. Best I can give you from as your current position is 3,000 present heading, and if you've got the field, it's currently just to your 11 o'clock, about 8 miles.
E1, rotate.
Rotating.
Positive rate of climb.
We'll go ahead and gear up. Try and give you a view. Might be a little laggy. Yeah, it's definitely laggy. We'll jump back up here. We'll nose down some. We'll get our... We get our flaps in. We'll go VNAV, LNAV, autopilot. Back into VNAV.
My apologies. Clear visual approach.
Go ahead and get this put back down. Taxi light switches can come off. We're waiting for our call to go to Unicom 122.8. There we go. Auto brakes can come off. Autopilot is on. And we are fully configured off of departure here. Should be making a left turn out here.
339, ready contact indicating 3,000. Climb, maintain 13,000.
Up to 13,000, Southwest 339. 13,000. That was a tongue twister to me. Up to 13,000.
339, you turn left direct PV now.
What do you say? Direct PV, you said?
Hey, from good. Papa Echo. Oh, look at me. Papa Echo, Victor Echo Echo.
Papa Echo, Victor Echo Echo, Southwest 339. Thank you.
Papa 1367 with 160 and 8, runway 8, clear to land.
All right, you got us turning a little early. Which is good. That'll get us up to our altitude pretty quick. Well, I guess the turning really doesn't have any bearing on our altitude, but he's going to get us to our waypoint slightly quicker. We don't have to fly out as far as we were flying out. Once this wing levels, you may get a view of downtown LA, possibly. We'll see what happens. Not much to see right now, just water. There we go. So there's LAX. Guess we're going to continue making this turn. There we are. We'll level off around here. Just off the wing there is downtown LA.
American 240 SoCal approach time for November at circuits, cleared ILS, runway 25 left approach.
After circuit, cleared to the ILS, 25 left. American 240.
All right, looking good so far. Above 10,000, we get our landing lights off. I don't know when he's gonna switch us over to Unicom, but I would imagine it would be relatively soon.
Southwest 339, climbing out of my airspace, center is all flying, radar service terminated, frequency change approved, have a good flight.
Frequency change approved, Southwest 339, thank you, have a good night.
Yep.
We're gonna head over to Unicom, which is 122.8, which is the frequency that everybody's generally on. And we could put this up to 330, up to our cruise altitude. I think we probably just leveled off, so we'll have to do a altitude intervene. Nope, looks like we got it. We don't have to do that. We are fine. And that is going to be, I think, our coverage today. I don't think we're going to have any more coverage on Vatsim. I know that I didn't do a lot of talking like I normally would, but that's because I was trying to give you guys a chance to listen into the ATC and everything. And Center did get offline, so we no longer have LA Center. So at this point, we could probably just log off the network here and continue our flight like we normally would. Unfortunately, we don't have any arrival ATC either, and we are going to have to do an altitude intervene here. Go ahead and do altitude intervene. That'll tell it to ignore our previous altitude hold of 13,000 and take us up to 33,000. But everything else is done. I think our after takeoff checks we've already done. Our climb checks, landing lights off, engine start switches can go to the off position. We can go ahead and do that now. Seatbelt signs, we can toggle them off if we want to, let people know they can roam around if they need to use the bathroom or, you know, facilities and services or whatever they need. And we're going to climb up to our, I'm going to wing view here, see if we can see anything. Yeah. We're going to climb up to our cruise altitude, and basically from here, the video will pick up to where it normally does. You know, we'll do a front window time lapse of the flight, and we'll pick up once we're closer to the descent, but we won't do that until we're 18,000, which is our transition altitude in US. So we're at 15,300. We're on our way up. If you guys are enjoying this, you guys want me to do more stuff like this, more Vatsim departures and flights, I'd like to get Vatsim coverage all the way, but that's difficult to do sometimes. But if you guys like this, definitely hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers. Once I do, I can start monetizing, which will make it I'll have more incentive to keep making these videos because I'll be able to make money and put more time aside for it. So the best way you guys can help is, you know, just subscribing and I guess liking the video. I'm sure that does something for the algorithm. But for everybody that is watching, thank you very much, and I hope you guys do enjoy the content. But yeah, we are at 17,400. We're gonna go ahead and switch into standard mode here on our altimeter, and we're gonna go ahead and jump into a window view, and this will be where we pick up our time lapse, and I will see you guys when we're closer to descent. I hope you guys enjoy the flight. welcome back. We have started our descent. We are at 25,000 feet. It was a bumpy ride. There was lots of turbulence. And I did see before I departed from LAX, I forgot to mention there was like a wind advisory in the area. So it does make sense why it was as bumpy as it was. But we need to put in all of our arrival information. So the first thing we need to do, oh, by the way, here's where we are on the arrival. We're just entering our arrival. We need to look at runway 26 and we need to pull that up on our charts. Let's get rid of this. How do we do this on here again? We're going to Phoenix, charts, approach, and we want runway 26. Here we are. We want this one. So we need to put in our localizer frequency 111.75, our approach course 258, and our landing barometer, which is going to be 1385 for ILS. So let's get this stuff put into the plane. I'll move this over here so that we can see it on my other screen. First thing we're going to do, final approach course 258, since it's right here in front of us. We'll set this to 258. Oh, there we go, 258. And we'll do the same thing on this side. We'll go backwards, might be a little quicker. There we go, 258. 5,000 is the speed or the altitude I put us down to. And 111.75 is going to be our frequency we need for landing. 111.75. We'll put that over here. We'll do the same thing over here. There we go. If you ever want to do a Cat 3 approach, like basically a Cat 3 auto land, you have to have it in both. And also final approach course, I believe you have to have it in both as well. And then you would activate your autopilot or your second autopilot button once you want to start the dual approach. But we're not doing, I don't know if we're doing that today. Maybe we will, we'll see. But right now we're at 23,000 feet. I need to take a look at KPHX altimeter, which is going to be 3004. So we'll switch that over once we're at 18,000 feet. Our descent checks, we don't need our landing lights on, but we are going to go ahead and toggle on our seatbelt lights. We'll set that to auto, let people know that we're getting ready to land. Actually, we'll set it to on instead of auto. Engine start switches, we could turn on to continuous. We'll do that shortly. We're not going to do that quite yet, but we do need to come down here and go to init ref, unable 265 knots. Let's take a look at that. 265. So I think what we do is we go here, target speed /265. I think that will fix that. Yes, I think we're good now. Okay, we need to go to init ref and select our approach. So 30 degrees, 132 knots, that'll be 137 or 132 plus 5. So that's going to be our landing. We'll go back to legs. We are going to have to do right here, since we don't have ATC, we're going to have to do a direct to like we normally do. If you watch my videos, then you already know we're going to basically fly alongside the airport, extend our downwind. Actually, I don't think we do a downwind in this one. Let's see, let's take a look. We'll set this to plan. Oh yeah, we do. Okay, so we'll extend our downwind until about out here, and then we'll start that turn and put us onto the approach. Down to 21,000. We'll go ahead and get our engine start switches set to continuous, since we are coming up on that approach. Beautiful view out the window. You see the sun just on the tip of the wing there. Looks pretty good. What else do we need here? We could take a look at the airport chart to see where we're actually landing on the runway. Let's go back to charts. We'll go to KPHX. We'll go to charts, taxi, airport info. And we're going to be landing runway 26. So we're going to be landing here. We're going to get off on the left-hand side. Perfect. Looks good to me. Let's zoom this back out. Where are we at? There we are. So we're not too far from the airport. Move this back over to my other screen. And things are going very well here. 3004 on the altimeter. We're about to get below 20,000. Once we're 18,500, somewhere in that range, we'll switch it over to, we'll switch the altimeter over to a local altimeter. And we can get some of these panel lights on. Or I guess button lights, because the sun's kind of washing them out a little bit over here. I generally always turn on these button lights. I don't need the floodlight. Just the button lights. There we go. Get those lights on. Alright, so I would say in the next 10 to 15 minutes, we will be on the ground. Roughly. There we are below 20,000, coming down 19,600, 700. Turn it down a little bit. Unfortunately, nobody on Vatsim is on in the area. If they were, I would log right back on and let them handle my approach. But unfortunately, there is nobody on. But luckily, we had center for our departure and clearance, and we had departure and arrival for our departure. So we did get a little bit of ATC getting out of there. We would have had full coverage all the way up to cruise if center didn't get offline, but unfortunately center got offline. But that's okay. We're doing fine. I guess when we land, we're looking for gate D15. If we want to do exactly as the flight that we're flying did, we would want D15, Delta 15. So let me pull up that chart. I wish, is there a way to pull it up where it's not overlaid? Oh, there we go. So parking gates is the one that we want. D15 is over here, so we're going to be landing on this runway, and we can get off wherever we get off, and then take Bravo down to Sierra, and then Sierra down to Delta. Well, I guess we won't have to go to Delta because D15 is right there. So that would be how this actual flight Southwest 339, that would be their actual gate and their flight and everything exact as we did it. Oh, we can go ahead and switch this into standard mode, and it was 3004. There we are. Altimeter set. Oh yeah, and we also need to set our landing barometer. Yikes, we almost forgot that. All right, let me go back and pull up that chart. Approach runway 26. We're looking at 1385. This might take a while to get there, but right next to our altitude altimeter right there, you can see what we're changing. So we're looking for 1385. And here we go, 1385. Right here. That's going to be our landing barometer, which again, if you don't know, on your landing chart, if you go to charts, KPHX, charts, and you want to do approach and look at runway 26, I'm doing the ILS, so I'm going to pick this one. And that's where you get all your information. Your localizer frequency, your final approach course, your missed approach. If we miss, we have to go climb to 2,500. Once we're there, then climb right, turn to 5,000. So we go up to 5,000 heading 030, and PXR VOR. That's basically how, then we get into a hold until they tell us what to do. That's basically how you would do a go around. And then down here, this is our step down for our glide slope intercept at 3,000. And then our ILS, you have 1385, and then the number next to it would be our radio. But we're not using radio, we're going to use our barometer. But if we wanted to use radio, we would just switch it over to radio on the up here. So right now we have it on barrel. This inner switch would switch to radio, and that's where we would put that in. We're at 15,000 feet. We can go ahead and do our we did everything, I guess. Landing lights, auto brace can be set to 2 if we even need them. Speed brake, we can go ahead and arm that now, because, you know, we can always do that again if we need to. Landing lights will come on at 10,000. We got about 5,000 more feet till we get the landing lights on. Here we are on our arrival. So we are almost up to the runways here. The airport is right there. We're going to fly this parallel, and then we're going to, which is final, and then we're going to make that left turn. I believe possibly the last time I flew into this airport, which there is a video for, I believe I did the same runway, but I came in from the north, not from the south. Because I think I did... Where did I come from? I don't remember. Maybe Portland or Seattle? Maybe Santa Barbara? One of those airports. But everything's good. We drag required. I don't know where drag is going to be required. And I keep having this message button. For some reason, I don't know where to find that. How do I find that? Or maybe that drag required is the message. I'm not 100% sure. But it doesn't look like we need drag. We're doing fine. I mean, we're 4 knots above our speed. I put a little drag in, I guess. That's it. Put it right back. Turn it off. If we want to do a little bit more, we could do like, we can go to a KPHX, pull up that chart again, approach runway 26, and we could look at like, it looks like 258 is going to be that runway heading. So we could put the heading in, or I guess that's what the course is right here, but we could also do it here if we wanted to, in case we ever need to switch that off. Everything else, I think we're good. I think we're pretty much ready for arrival. I think the airport is out over here somewhere. It shouldn't be too much longer till we're like on the ground. We could add in our fixes if you guys want to see how far we are. KPHX, or like have some kind of reference on our screen there. We'll do /5 and /10. We'll go back to legs, and that'll show you how far out we are. So we're about 25 miles out from our first 10-mile ring, which says we're about 30 to 35 miles out from the actual airport, which isn't too bad. We can go ahead and turn on terrain, because we do have some terrain below us, but I don't think it's going to be of any issue. We can go over here and we can toggle this screen to show our glide slope. Forget if it's that button. It might be the other button. Always forget which one it is. No? What the heck? That's barometer. I thought it was this button. Yeah, maybe we're not close enough yet. We'll do... I wish the weather radar worked. That would be awesome if weather worked. But I don't think it does. Turn terrain back on. We'll keep an eye on our terrain. We're coming up over these mountains here. Might get some turbulence once we get over them. Look at that haze below the mountain ranges there. That looks pretty cool. Get to a rear wing view. There we go. Man, that red is bright. Just right there in your face. It's almost nighttime. We're almost doing a night landing. Be a sunset landing. It'll be real nice. Alright, we'll zoom this in a tick. There we are. Still no terrain interference. Coming down to 10,000 feet pretty soon. We can go ahead and switch our landing lights on now, since at this point we would probably be cleared below 10,000 feet. Approach checks, landing lights we now have on. Auto brakes set. Master caution recall. We don't have anything on either side from what I can see. Speed brake set. Flaps, landing gear, and taxi light switches. We'll do that once we start our left turn onto our base and onto final. We'll start pulling our flaps in and getting all that set up and ready. See a little bit of terrain being drawn in. That's the mountains that we saw right outside the window. All right, 11,000 feet. probably following a constraint. We're supposed to go down to 9,000 now. I have our altitude set to 5,000, which we could put down to 4. We'll leave it at 5. After we do our left turn, our next altitude is 4, but I think we'll probably be on the glide slope by then. Airport should be just off to the left in front of us here. I don't see it as of yet. He's going good. This is a great plane. If you don't have this plane and you're thinking about getting this plane, do it. This and the Phoenix A320, man, they're great planes. Oh, by the way, the update came out. I've been kind of messing around with the helicopters. And I do have rudder pedals and everything. The helicopters are much more difficult than I thought they were going to be to fly. I tried just hovering. Now, I did get flight in and do some, relatively decent flight, but hovering, man, that's hard. But I turned off, like, all the assistance. I wanted to do it just, like, on my own. But, yeah, man, it's hard. I hope to do some helicopter videos, maybe doing a tour of Los Angeles or, a tour of Detroit or Chicago or New York, Miami. Would love to do some flights around there, and if you guys have any suggestions or areas, let me know. But I think that would make for some cool flights. Maybe do some flights in Colorado, around the mountain ranges, or the Grand Canyon, Niagara Falls. I think all these places would be really cool to do some flights. It says the airport's off to my left. I still don't see it. Granted, it might not be rendered in, or I'm just blind, because I do not see it. Oh, there it is, right there. Okay. So it's in front of us a little bit. I guess I could have looked here and seen that. Speeds are coming down. We'll go ahead and add a little bit of drag like it wanted us to. We have one more waypoint to go, and then we're going to be in a manual vector. We'll get our speeds down. We'll give it a little assistance with that. Do a nice wing view. And release our speed brakes. We'll rearm them. All right, we got one more waypoint, and then we're at a vector, and what we're going to do is we're going to move this up. Once that line of direction is at a 45-degree angle, we will turn and make that turn. We could go ahead and turn terrain off, probably. We're not having any terrain issues. Or we don't have to watch for any terrain. It's pretty flat in this area, which is probably why they built the airport here. But yeah, we'll make that left turn. Once we're probably about 12 miles or so from where we are, we'll turn on to Jaggle, which I can move up to here, but I'm not going to activate that yet. Obviously, I'm going to wait until we get way up here. If I activate it now, we're going to come in way too early. We're pretty much going to miss the waypoint. Yeah, drag required. Erase that for now. We'll clear drag required. I don't know why it keeps saying that, because... Oh, I guess we do. Guess we're not down to speed yet. All right, we'll give it a little bit of drag. I guess because it wants us at a certain speed at that waypoint, and we're over speeding right now. I think it wants us at 210, and we're at 215. Or 217 when I said that. Yeah, I have flaps fully extended, or not flaps, speed brakes, and we're speeding up, so it's actually becoming difficult to slow down. What I could do is go ahead and put in one notch of flaps, which will help us slow down. I could probably even put a second notch in. Yeah, we'll do two notches. We'll go ahead and get this ready to go. We'll move this up here. We'll keep on flying. Once we're at a 45-degree angle intercept, we'll go ahead and activate that. Right now, I'm just watching our speeds. We have flaps 2 in, and we have our speed brakes fully extended. Still trying to slow down. And we want to get down to 4,000 by our next waypoint. If we need to level it off to intercept our glide slope, we will. But for now, let's just put it down to 4,000. So we got about 1,500 feet to go. All right, there we are. We finally slowed down to our speed, which is going to be 174. I don't know why it's shooting us back up here. I guess it wants us at our FMC speed, which was probably 210, and we got to come down to 175. All right, we're going to start that turn here in just a minute. Almost. All right, we'll go ahead and execute that and start that turn. Execute. Drag required. I'm working on it. All right, speeds are back down. Altitude is coming down to 4,000. Beautiful sunset going on. We can go ahead and add another, what happened? Notch of flaps. And we'll go ahead and arm our localizer as well. I'm not gonna add flaps just yet. I guess I could. We'll go 3 flaps, which I think is 10 degrees. We can go 1 more, and then we have to drop our gear if we want to add any more flaps. Otherwise, we'll get a crazy bell going off, which I think I've done in one of my videos. Pretty sure I have. What a beautiful time of day to make this landing. All right, we'll jump back up here. We do have both of our indicators. We have our localizer here. We have our glide slope here. We're coming down to 4,000, which is where we're going to level off. And we'll try and capture that glide slope as soon as we can. We'll go ahead and get our taxi lights turned on, our runway turnoff lights turned on. And we'll drop our gear soon, but not quite yet. We do have our glide slope catching up to us here, so I'm going to go ahead and put us down to 3,500. I don't think it'll do it because we technically have an altitude constraint, but we'll see what happens. We should be capturing our localizer here in a second. We might be able to capture both at the same time. And there's our left turn, and we'll go ahead and activate our approach. And we are on the localizer and the glide slope. All right, flying right into the sunset. So we'll go ahead and bring our speeds down. We'll go to 140 for now. Go ahead and go 1 more notch of flaps. And how far are we from the airport? About 7 miles or so. We'll go ahead and drop our gear. Which lets us go full flaps. We'll get fully configured here in just a second. All 3 gear is down, or are down. We'll extend the rest of our flaps. You can see them extending there. There we are. Go ahead and slow ourselves down a little bit more. We'll go ahead and go on, or turn on our second autopilot. That's a single channel anyway, so the second autopilot really doesn't do anything. But we'll bring this down to 132, which is our landing speed. And I think we have everything set to go. A little bit of a cross headwind. It's not too bad though. We're probably going to toggle off the autopilot here. I'm not going to do a auto land. We'll see what happens. I had some issues with the joystick yesterday where I had to have it fully, like all the way to the right, in order for it to work. So I'm going to disengage the autopilot fairly low to the ground in case that issue does kick in again. I'm not sure what that was or why it did that. It might have just been an isolated incident. But when I tried to do a landing the other day, the plane basically started just, you know, wing up and right wing down to the ground, and I had to like put my joystick all the way to the left just to hold it level. It wasn't windy or anything like that. I don't know if it was a failure simulation or like what the heck it was, but what was our landing speed, by the way? Yeah, it was 132. Okay, so we have our speed set to 132. We're not slowing down to 132. Let me add in some speed brakes. We're actually 10 miles ahead of our landing speed, desired landing speed. I said miles, I meant knots. Put this back to 132. All right, so now we're a little bit low. You know what? I probably will just leave the autopilot on. I don't know. It's acting a little wonky. All right, we'll turn it off. All right, I have the plane. Plane is stable. We're not having that issue with the joystick. We got a nose down. We got to bring this down a lot quicker. We were not managing our speeds well today for some reason. You would think we had a tailwind, but I just cannot get them speeds down to 132. So we're going to have a pretty fast landing. We'll be landing a little bit quicker than we should have. So hopefully I don't float it here and we do touch it down.
50, 30, 10.
And we are down. All right, that went well. All right, we'll go ahead and go reverse thrust. We don't need much though. Try and hold the center line. And our speeds are coming down. Go ahead and turn reverse thrust off. All right, beautiful landing. That went very well. I was actually expecting that to go worse for some reason. I thought that the joystick was going to mess up. The autopilot was dropping us a little bit low. We came in a little bit fast, but overall that was a pretty good landing. At the end there, we did kind of drop our altitude a little abruptly, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and pull up here. And we'll stop right here for now real quick, and we'll do our after landing check. So our landing lights, they can come off. Right now I'm just kind of holding the brakes on my rudder pedals. So landing lights can come off. Strobe lights can go back to steady. Taxi lights are on. Everything's on. Flaps, they can get set back to normal. Engine start switches can go back to off. Whoop, not ground. Off. Stabilizer trim, we're fine. APU can get turned on. And we could jump down here and change this to standby. There we are. We'll go ahead and pull up our chart. I do kind of remember where we're going, but let's just pull up the chart so that we can see it. And airport info. Here we are. So we're going down to this terminal. So we're going to take Bravo to Sierra, Sierra down to that terminal. All right, so we are good to start our taxi. We'll go ahead and give ourselves a little bit of throttle. A little bit of left rudder. Get ourselves going over to the left here. What a perfect time of day to land. Clear skies too, man. All right, this is Bravo. Our APU should be ready here in just a minute. Once it is, we'll get our APU bleed turned on. Welcome to Phoenix, guys. Default scenery. I don't have any sceneries here. I don't even know if there are any sceneries here. But, oh, what I have is all default. Nothing fun. All right, this is Charlie 7, Charlie 8 will be the next one, and then Tango Sierra. Let's get back on that center line there. How's our APU looking? Probably about to pop on now in just a second. All right, this one's gonna be Charlie 8. Go ahead and get our APU bleed turned on. There we are. I hope the airport is actually, you know what? I am actually going to park at these gates here because it doesn't look like the airport is actually modeled to fully reflect the fact that there is a terminal on the other side. There's a parking garage where my terminal should be. So unfortunately, that's not going to be there. We're going to go ahead and make a right turn here, and we'll follow to the left, and we'll pull up into one of these terminals here. So that's totally fine, though. What we were doing was following the actual flight plan off of FlightAware for flight Southwest Airlines 399 or 339. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like that terminal is modeled here. So we'll just pull up here. We'll pull into one of these terminals. No big deal. And then we'll do our shutdown then. We'll do this right turn here. Pull into one of these end terminals. Just like that. Pull into one of these middle ones here. Doesn't look like there's... Oh, there are taxi lines. I was gonna say, it doesn't look like there's any taxi lines here, but there are. All right, we'll pull into this one to the left here. We'll start our left turn. Once I see that taxi line out the window here. There it is. All right. Go ahead and get our taxi lights off. So we're not blinding anybody. Any of the ground crew or anything. Those lights are pretty bright. And there we are. We'll come to a stop. And there we are. Go ahead and engage our brakes. Parking brakes are on, and we'll do our parking checks. Parking brake is on. Seatbelt signs. We'll jump up here. Seatbelt signs can come off. No smoking can come off, which I don't know why. You still can't smoke. APU generator switch is on. 1, 2. We're on the APU. We'll go ahead and do fuel cutoff. We'll jump down here. We'll get our ground services set up. We'll go ahead and call them, request our GPU. We'll jump up here. We'll see this light pop on in just a second. There it is. We'll get established on ground power. APU bleed can come off. APU can come off. Pack switches left and right can be set to not high, off. And the valve can be set to open. Probe heats can come off. Window heats can come off. Yaw damper can come off. Fuel pumps can come off. Anti-collision lights can come off. We'll throw the wheel well lights on for the ground crew. What else we got? Position lights, wing lights, battery switch. We would turn the battery switch off at this point. I don't know if we can call over a jetway or not. But let's give it a try. Request. Oh, we can. Okay, so we have a jetway coming. All right. And that would be our full flight. If you guys enjoyed this, be sure to hit that like button. Definitely share it. And if you want me to keep doing stuff like this, hit that subscribe button so I know you like the content. Or at least if you like the content, hit the subscribe button. And I will catch you guys on the next video.